Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new then welcome. My name is Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. I am so excited for this video because today we're talking about the brand new Haus Labs pH Hybrid Lip Glaze Plumping Glosses. They came out with 6 brand new shades, and I'm going to be talking all about them. We're going to do lip swatches as well as arm swatches, and I'm going to give you my full first thoughts on this. So without further ado, because I'm super excited for this, let's get started. Starting off with the specs of these are $26. I purchased mine at Sephora. They say that they're a next-gen burn-free plumping glaze that visibly plumps lips with hydration. The restoring non-sticky 4-in-1 fuses lip oil, balm, plumper, and gloss. You know, when I picked these up, I didn't even realize they were supposed to be plumping glosses, but I'm down for a plumper that doesn't hurt my lips. I'm really okay with that. The highlighted ingredients in this product are Polyplumper Complex, a custom blend of Maxi Lip and Volulip for visibly fuller lips. Both Maxi Lip and Volulip are trademarked, by the way. There's also prickly pear oil. Moisture barrier feels boosted with added hydration. I believe we've seen prickly pear oil in their products previously. And then we also have vegan collagen in here. So first we have the shade Macaron, and I will be inserting some arm swatches for you guys to see what this looks like, but let's go ahead and put this on the lips. And Macaron is described as a cool pink tone. It has the same exact doe foot as the lip oils. It does seem to be a little bit more stringy, a little bit thicker, as you can tell whenever you pull that doe foot out. It does have a little bit of a string to it. Oh my gosh, that feels really nice. It's definitely thicker than their typical lip oils, but that's to be expected because this is supposed to be a 4-in-1. So it does say that it's a gloss, lip oil, what else? Lip balm treatment fused together. For me, this feels more like a gloss. Think Tower 28, but thicker. Surprisingly enough, even though this is described as a cool pink, I still kind of like this on myself. I don't feel like it's light enough to wash me out, so the fact that it's a darker cool pink almost helps it out in my opinion. I think I could pair this with a more neutral, darker lip liner and it would look even better on. I think that this is giving me about a sheer medium coverage. I can still see my lips underneath this, and it does feel a little bit thicker than a typical lip oil, like a true lip oil that feels a little slick, but it does have a little bit closer of a texture to a standard lip gloss. But you can see no stringiness to it, so it doesn't feel sticky, but it's definitely thicker. But it's not uncomfortable and it's not thick in a bad way. Next we have the shade Guava, which is described as a soft warm pink. I do find that I have to dip in again because it feels like that applicator does get wiped off pretty well whenever you take this out of the tube, so it's not very messy. Alright, and here is Guava on. I like this one even more than Macaron, and I feel like you could do one or the other. I don't necessarily think you need both, at least in my case. I like that this one looks a little bit more natural on my skin tone. It just adds a little hint of pink, and this one looks like it sort of elevates the natural pink that lips typically can be, so I like this. I love the gloss, by the way. I think that it's really shiny and beautiful. It doesn't look thick, and the color, the pigmentation is actually sitting on the lips very evenly. It's not sinking into the lines on my lips. And speaking of the lines on my lips, I think that it's just blurring over and glossing over them perfectly. I love that when it comes to lip product. I like when my lips just look full and juicy. Of course, most glossy products are going to give you that effect, but I really enjoy how the pigment in this is not sinking in and kind of traveling into my fine lines. Next we have Persimmon, which is described as a reddish brown. Do you guys say persimmon or persimmon? I say persimmon. I think that this is beautiful. I think it's the perfect amount of red and brown in it to where it doesn't look like a red gloss, which you guys may or may not know. I'm not a huge fan of glossy red lips, so because this does have that tint of brown in it, I think it tones it down really nicely to where it looks a little bit more natural and a lot more wearable for my preference when it comes to lip products. Because of the thicker texture of this, I feel like these are going to last on the lips for a really long time. So if this is in fact very hydrating and it does have that lasting hydration on the lips, this would be really ideal. And just because I'm curious about the pigmentation, I am going to do another layer of this to see how much we can build this up. Ooh, that's so pretty. If you go in with a really thick layer, it gives you a lot more color, and it's still not stringy. A little bit right here. I wouldn't even describe that as stringy. For me, I feel like a product is stringy whenever I'm talking and it's just constantly like stringing up in the center of my mouth, you know? But I'm not seeing too much of that. I am seeing a little bit, just a little bit. But I did go in with an oddly large amount of this, so maybe I can't build it up that much. But I did go in with a lot, as you guys saw. So keep that in mind. I think that these wear really nicely sheer, but maybe you can go in with another very thin layer and get more pigmentation. But I would advise you to be careful and not go in like 2 or 3 times with like a full doe foot all over the lips again. Next, we have the shade Fig, which is described as a warm, deep brown. It looks like it's gonna be purple, but let's see what it looks like on the lips. All right, here is a thin layer. This is what I get off of one doe foot here. Would you guys describe this as a warm, deep brown? I could definitely see it as brown, but I could also see it as like a purple shade. I don't know. Again, I like this. I love these types of tones when it comes to tinted lip balms, when it comes to glosses in general. I just think that it adds a little extra something to a look anytime that you add a color like this. And I like that it's slightly more dark purpley looking because it almost looks like a toned down berry shade. I think that this one is my favorite one so far. Next, we have the shade Praline, which is described as a neutral deep beige. Okay, this one is probably giving me the most natural vibe. I can see a lot of people loving this one because it is that perfect neutral shade, adds a little bit of color to the lips, but it still kind of looks like a nude. Like, I feel like this would be a great topper for any nude lipstick if you want to like warm it up a little bit, or if you want to put a gloss on top and you want to stay in that more nude lip color family. I think this is beautiful. I love how this looks, I think especially because of the opacity of it. I think if it were any more opaque, for me, it would just look a little bit too stark. But because I feel like you can still kind of see my natural lip color underneath it and it's blending in a little bit better, I think that this is super wearable. I like this a lot. I was a little bit more hesitant with this shade because I felt like it might wash me out a little bit, but I actually really enjoy how it brings a little bit of depth to the lips and it makes it a little bit darker without making it look bold or like too much. I don't know how else to explain it. Lastly, we have the shade Cocoa, which is a taupe brown, and this one I think is going to be my favorite, but we'll see. Beautiful. It is gorgeous. I don't think it's too deep for my skin tone. I feel like this is something that I could probably wear even if I'm not wearing any makeup or if I have a really, really light makeup day. Like, it doesn't look too glam or anything like that. I love this shade. I think that this one is going to suit a lot of different skin tones. I also feel the same way about Praline. I feel like all of these are going to suit a lot of skin tones. It's rich without being too crazy on the lips. It just looks beautiful. Oh my goodness. I really like this. I like how it's taupey, but it still has that good amount of brown in there, so it doesn't just look gray. Yeah, I like that one a lot. This is beautiful. If you want to kind of narrow down your options, Cocoa and Persimmon, I feel like you could kind of interchange because they give you that same vibe, but slightly different tones. Like, this is going to be a cooler, almost reddish brown look, you know, while this one is more warm reddish brown. So I don't know. I think they're similar enough to where you could do one or the other, but both of them are really beautiful. All right, so those were all the swatches. Now to go over my thoughts and a little review really quickly, just so you guys have it. I love these. I think they are beautiful. They feel so nice. If you're expecting it to feel like they're lip oils, don't expect that because these definitely have a thicker texture to them. But again, they're not sticky. They give you a really nice sheer wash of color. You could build it up, but then you kind of risk it getting a little bit goopy on the lips. Because of the thicker texture, I do feel like these are going to last a bit longer on the lips when it comes to wear time. I will let you guys know. Just remind me in the comments because sometimes I forget to update the description boxes. I'm very, very happy with the shades they came out out with. I feel like a lot of them are very universal, and because you can get that sheer wash of color, I think it's gonna suit a larger audience when it comes to complexions. Like, you can wear it really sheer if some of these tones are too dark for you, or if you think that the shades are gonna be a little too light for you if you like really pack it on there. Again, you can go in with a very sheer layer. And of course, these are all flexible enough to where you can wear them with lip liners. They're gonna give you that sheerness to where you can still see the lip liners underneath them. I think it was a really smart move to not add fragrance to this, because I know that the majority of people prefer no fragrance. I like fragrance sometimes, but other times I can do without. I don't know, there's something so elevated about these tones and the way that they sit on the lips. I really enjoy them. They're kind of giving me glossy stain vibes, kind of with how wet and almost crystally looking they are on the lips. I don't know, it's just kind of reminding me of that. I know that they're not. As far as the plumping aspect of it goes, I don't know. That is something that I can probably let you guys know over time, or at least like through wearing it for the rest of the day. I don't see a huge difference with how my lips looked before I started filming this video to now. But yes, overall, I would recommend these. They are kind of expensive. $26 for one is pretty pricey. So maybe like pick up one or two that are really calling out to you. I think that these are just so lovely. And I'm a huge Haus Labs fan. I don't think that that is a secret here, guys. I love so many of their products. I used to be on their PR list, but I guess I'm not anymore because I haven't gotten anything in a while. So Haus Labs, if you're watching, I'm open. I'm here. That's pretty much everything I have for you guys here. If you want to see me do more of an updated video on this, check out my TikTok and my Instagram. I do film short form stuff there, and usually I have tested products out a little bit longer so I can give you more of a thorough review in the captions or within the video. All right, guys, that's everything I have for you today. If you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.